Hello, guys, to the ones out there listening to us. This is the second part of our second episode of the SAP podcast. Okay, this time in the second part called the catch up. Right, as you know, you guys who have already listened to us, you already know that the catch up part is a full English part, 100% English speaking on our part. And to the ones who are new here, be welcome. And this is in an entirely in English conversation that we have here between the members of the table. Okay. Hello, Angie. What's up?
Hello, what's up?
Everything good here? What about you, Alessandro? How's it going?
Hello there. Everything all right there too?
Everything okay here? So, guys, be welcome once again. Today, in the second part of the second episode, in the catch-up part, we're gonna have two different discussions. Okay, two different conversations, two different topics. The first one is gonna be a more not random, but a more free speaking about what we have been doing lately. Okay, we're gonna talk about our routines a little bit, about what we have been doing in the past maybe week, 2 weeks, and so on. Because
our fans are curious about our life, right?
Yeah. And of course, it's been almost a month since the first episode, right? So we need to you guys, I think, and I bet you are eager to catch up with our news, right? And in the second part, as it was announced in the first part of this episode, we're going to have a very interesting conversation about learning plateau. Okay, what is learning plateau and what can you do to overcome this? Okay, so first of all, in the first segment of the catch up, we are going to talk about the things that we have been doing lately. Okay, and Alessandro, despite the fact that we are here having conversations like every month in this podcast, I have to admit that I am not aware of the things you've been doing around. So can you update us on that?
Just the same stuff. So I have been living, let's say. No, I have been working, of course, right? Preparing classes and giving classes, Spanish classes, English classes, not Portuguese at all, but English and Spanish as always. What more I have? Oh, I haven't seen no, because it was 2 weeks ago. I went to a concert, a rock and roll concert, where you were there playing the drums, right?
Oh, nice. I remember that.
The Chico Paz first concert after releasing the new album. Very nice, by the way. Very nice concert. And you guys, you really rock, if I can use this expression here. And,
I bet.
And the guitar player, everybody knows that you are an amazing drummer, but the guitar player, I got really impressed with the guy. The guy really.
Yeah, the shout out to Regis Mevius, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
The guitar player. The guy is really impressive. A very good musician. Very good guitar player. He has loads of technique, but also at the same time he can put feeling into the strings.
And this is very, very rare. Let's say people usually are very concerned about going to the point, but they don't have the feeling of the instrument, and he has. And well, I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, it's my hobby, so I like to read about it, and I'm writing some adventures, diving some H.P. Lovecraft and Clark Smith to, let's say, dare you to do something different in our adventures in Dungeons and Dragons. That's what I've been doing these days.
Okay, so you said that you have been playing Dungeons and Masters, but have you really been playing, or have you been mastering?
I am the master of puppets. No, I since I was a kid, I always have been dungeon. I don't know. I think I was gonna say running games instead of playing. I think I have been a player for 2 or 3 times only. So I like to be behind the screen for people that know what I mean here. So when Dungeons and Dragons, guys, there is a person that tells a story for the other guys to participate. So it's my role in the role-playing games. I am the guy I'm the narrator, let's say, I'm the storyteller, and the other guys participate in the story that I don't create. I just put some points, and the guys create with me the story. Okay, I think that's my part here.
Okay, so are you really saying that you don't feel like maybe being in front of the dungeon master playing some nights, playing some sessions of RPG?
Yeah, but I am the dungeon master, but I don't play. Let's say I rule the game. I put the order in the chaos that you guys created usually, right?
But maybe what about being on the other side of the table sometime?
I would like to, but it's hard. It's very rare to find a dungeon master, especially in a very small city like Igrejinha. So here we don't have many people that play Dungeons and Dragons. Now I have more. When I was a kid, I think we were the only ones here, like 4 or 5 guys that used to know what was that. But now we have more people, but usually they don't like this part because people say it demands a lot of work, but I don't think it's work. I have more fun sometimes planning the sessions than really playing the session. Let's say when I'm planning, I can think about what the guys will do if I put this there. How can I challenge them to do this, or how can I turn the things here to make them to surprise them? Let's say. So I like planning. I can't say that more than playing, but planning is a very good part, like a hobby that I have here to put my imagination on.
Okay, nice. Angie, do you have a question for Alessandro?
Yes, I do. Alessandro, have you passed on a contest, haven't you?
Haven't we actually?
Oh, that's true.
Daniel
So
and I.
tell us, come on. I'm
Thank
curious
you.
about that.
And yeah, now I and Daniel, we are UFRGS students at the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul. Now we are the 2 newest students there, and we passed in first and second place there on the contest. So yeah, let's get ready to study once more. Let's feel how it's to be in the college once more after the 39 years old. Oh, Jesus.
First and second place. Take a look at this small detail.
You guys out there listening, this is not me and this is not Alessandro saying this, okay? This is Andy. So it's like, it's our fault, right?
you were not touching this topic here.
But thank you very much.
We are humble.
Much, Andy.
We are humble here.
Congrats.
And just to let the guys know, the course that we did, the exam, okay, it was modern languages English, okay? So, of course, it's related to what we are doing here, right? We are going to try to enhance our English, so to speak, and learn maybe new techniques, learn how to teach it, okay, to you guys. And Angie, Alessandro was talking a little bit about the Dungeons and Dragons and RPG role-playing game experience. Have you ever played RPG?
No, I have no idea what is that. But only if you want to invite me, I can play.
So
if you can teach me, of course.
Okay, but you have never played RPG. Have you been playing any games lately?
Games? I'm sorry, but I'm not this kind of person. I'm so sorry.
Okay, and so what else have you been doing in your free time?
Free time? I even don't have free time. What is that? Is this a special thing?
But let me say something. Andy told us that we are going to study, but Andy is also doing a different college now. Yeah, we have one more college person here, a fresh lady here.
What is it like? What is it that?
I can say one more crazy person. Could we? Yes.
Yes. Why? Okay.
Why? I have no idea. Just
She's
because
going to be a liar. No, I mean a lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's true. I want to be a lawyer, and I started learning this 3 weeks ago, if I'm not wrong. And I can tell you that I'm really in love with that. Seriously.
Okay, nice, very good.
That's true.
Very nice. Once again, congratulations, right?
I don't know if I can say thank you, but it's all right. Let's do that.
Why did you decide to study law? After studying to the exams, you got like, I love law, let's say, no?
No. The kind of thing is to be a teacher nowadays in a public school is too difficult. The things are going worse and worse day by day. So, and I really like this kind of things. I really like to read about that. So, and then I decided, why not? Why in the future I can do both things together? Why not? Teach about law. Why not? So, just because be a teacher nowadays in a public school is too difficult. So, because this was my first reason to go in this crazy journey.
And do you think that one day are you going to try to be a judge, maybe, or no?
Nowadays, I can only say for you, why not?
Okay.
Why not? But I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna finish. I don't know if in two years I don't decide another thing. I don't know nothing about. Just why not? Why
Okay.
not? Why not allow to myself to do that? Why
Alright.
not?
Okay, so since you mentioned being a lawyer and studying to become a lawyer, and at the same time, we like the topic that I asked you about was free time, and you told us that you don't have free time, right? I'm gonna mix both things, law and free time. That reminds me of a series, which is a pretty good series that there is in one specific streaming platform. It's called Better Call Saul. Have you ever watched it?
This one not yet. This one no. One of my favorite is Suit. The first and second episode, and Suits is one of the best, that kind of things. But this one that you told, no, I'm gonna write this on my to watch list.
I strongly recommend, because the main character is a lawyer, so you might learn a lot from his experiences.
And I like this kind of series.
While we were talking about series, I was writing down here something. We could do sometimes an episode about series that we recommend to our listeners.
That's true.
Because we here, guys, we are series lovers. Let's say we watch a lot of series here. So we have all the main streamings, and we discuss a lot about series in our daily life here, but not in front of the mic, so we can try to do that one day. Okay.
I would totally go for it.
And what more, Andy? What more have you been doing to have fun?
To have fun, parties, but not a lot. Calm down, not a lot. But next week, or in a few days, is gonna be happen a very nice concert here in Igrejinha from one of the bands that I used to love, and now they back, is Reação em Cadeia. I don't know. So they're gonna play here in Igrejinha, and I'm getting crazy about that because it was part of my life when I was younger.
When you were a child, right? Because when you were a child, because they got famous, and when I was 17, 18, I think. Like
no, not a child, but I'm not sure, but about 12, 13 years old. I cried a lot with them.
Okay.
Seriously.
And Angie, it's interesting that you mentioned Reação em Cadeia, because very recently I got the opportunity to see them live. I saw them, I think it was a month ago, in São Leopoldo. I was playing a concert in São Leopoldo with a friend of mine. His name is Victor V. He is some kind of pop, rock, grunge artist from Portão. And he built a very strong career in São Leopoldo. And the São Leopoldo administration always invites him to play at the São Leopoldo Fest. So we were there playing at São Leopoldo Fest, and the second band after us that played after us was Reação em Cadeia. So I got the opportunity to see them live, and although they are not among my favorite bands, actually, like their type of music is not exactly the type of music that defines me, I have to admit that the concert was absolutely outstanding. It was like a level of professionalism that I have never seen, or actually I hardly ever seen in a Brazilian band. So what I can tell you, I don't know when you saw them for the last time, maybe years ago.
years ago.
Long
I
ago.
don't remember exactly the year, but they were in Oktoberfest. I can remember that was my last time. I was teenager. I don't remember exactly, but I think 15 years old around. And that was my last time. Now I'm almost 30. Imagine 15 years ago, more or less.
I've got to tell you that you're gonna love this new concert because like there are no mistakes. Everything is very professional. The sound is very good, so you're gonna love it. Okay, that's what I can tell you. So don't
Now
miss it.
I'm more anxious.
I'm not going to go, so because the last two times, the 2 times I went to their concert, the concert didn't finish, let's say, because in the third or fourth music, the guy jumped from the stage on the people, and the people didn't get him, so he got hurt, and they stopped the concert earlier, let's say, like 3 songs, yeah, mosh, and some
I
problems.
can totally assure you that this is not going to happen because this is one of the professional things that they did to their set,
Okay.
to their concert. Okay, not jumping from stage. Okay, this is
Yeah,
not going to happen.
this
I
is
can
nice.
assure
This
you.
is nice, but people they were not expecting, let's say, that this rock and roll attitude by him. So they usually in Brazil, people don't jump from stage to the guys there, and so people didn't know what to do, and they just jump out of the way, let's say, and the guy was a little hurt, let's say. But don't worry. I think they're not going to do that because also it was like, oh my God, 16, 18 years ago. So yeah, probably they are more mature now, so they don't do this kind of thing anymore.
All right. So as for me,
I will say, what have you been doing?
I haven't been watching many Reação em Cadeia concerts. Okay, this one, and maybe there's a chance I'm gonna watch this next one because the next one is part of a bigger context, right? More bands, more artists, bigger event with beer and people who know me.
This is the best part, right? The beer.
Yeah, I have to agree.
And Reação em Cadeia is going to open our friend's Richard band concert, right? You see, Reação em Cadeia is opening our friend's band. That's amazing. Okay, nice. So 80 beats, we are talking about you guys.
And apart from that, I've been just like Alessandro said, playing RPG. Okay, I'm gonna give away something here. I am part of his table, right? I play with him. He is my dungeon master, right? So I am part of his group, right?
You know that if some people can understand, it's a little bad if you say I'm your dungeon master, but okay, I can't get it this way here, but okay. It's not that kind of role play, okay, guys?
Yeah, not that one. Besides that, I've been playing also Magic the Gathering, which is something closely related to RPG because of the artistic part of it, and also because of some ideas, like some mechanics in the game. I've been watching a series, which is The Office. It's a series that many people have recommended, and I decided to watch it. I think it was maybe 3 months ago, and I am loving it. It's really great, and it's for English learners. Very good series, very good show to learn new vocabulary, right? Of course, American English, because there is the British version, but I'm watching the American version. And besides that, I have been playing concerts because I am a musician. I've been studying Spanish. Yes, I'm a Spanish student. And also teaching, right? So I can say that my life has been quite busy, just like Andy's and Alessandro's lately, right?
All right. It was a busy month for you too. I must admit that I tried The Office, I think 3 times, and I gave up. I was, no, it's not my cup of tea, let's say. Yeah. I get like, I don't know how to say that, but whatever. Let's move on.
Okay, guys. So now that you all have caught up with our news, you are now updated with the things, the stuff that we, the hosts, have been doing lately. We're gonna go straight to the second part of the second episode. Okay, we're gonna go and talk about learning Plateau. Okay. And we are going to start by trying to explain the concept behind the 2 words learning Plateau. Okay. The first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to give definitions to the 2 words that are part of the expression. The first one is the word learning. And the word learning, of course, comes from the verb learn. Okay. And according to the Free Dictionary, the definition of learning, or the first and main definition of the word learning, is the act or process or experience of gaining knowledge or skill. Okay? And then we have the second word of the expression, which is the word plateau. And
It's
as
the
you can,
Greek philosopher, right?
I'm
No,
sorry?
it's the Greek philosopher Plato.
Yeah, okay. So it's not Plato, right? It's not Plato, it's
Yeah.
plateau, right?
Uh-huh.
And plateau, as you can notice by the sound, by the pronunciation of this word, it comes from French. It's a French word that was assimilated, that was imported, and it became official in English language, right? So it's a French word. And the first definition that we have here for the word plateau, and I am talking about the definition that we find on the freedictionary.com, is an elevated, comparatively level expanse of land, a tableland. So this definition is actually more like a geologic explanation of the word, because a plateau can be a geologic structure, okay? But this is not the definition that we want here. We want the second definition that the free dictionary gives us. And a plateau, according to the website, is a relatively stable level, period, or state. Okay? And if we analyze this description, this definition of the word, we can think that it's trying to talk about stagnation. Okay? When a person gets stagnated at some activity. So, of course, if we join both words together, learning plateau, it possibly means that the expression refers to a state in which a person is learning something and then reaches a point of stagnation in which the person doesn't show clear evolution, development anymore, right?
Yeah,
Of course.
I think you can use the geographical too. If you think like more in a figurative mode, for example, the guy is climbing a mountain. Okay, the fluency is the top of the mountain, let's say. So you are climbing, and then in the middle of the way, you get a long journey without going up, just going forward. But you don't go up, you don't climb the mountain. You get stuck there to get to the point. Maybe in a figurative way, we can think like geographical meanings too. But okay, sorry, I interrupted you.
No problem at all. So I think this comparison between the geographical or the geological structure and the concept that we are working here is perfect, right? So it really means that a person is doing something, studying something, acquiring knowledge about something, and then the person reaches a point in which she feels that she doesn't evolve anymore. When we talk about learning a language, this process can happen in many different ways. For example, a person can understand the listening pretty good. The person can have very good vocabulary. The person can have very good grammar, in their opinion. But then when it comes to communicating, the person feels that they cannot develop a good communication with other people. And that's when we think that maybe the person has reached a point of stagnation, and maybe that they should change their techniques, their studying techniques, or the methodology, or do something else. And here we are, guys. Here we are to try to give you some ideas, to try to talk about what can be done in terms of like a change in the course of studies, so that you can abandon the point of stagnation. You can leave it behind and continue, start growing, resume growing once again. So, Alessandro, Angie, what can you tell about, what can you say about this? What can you tell us about this maybe change in the course so that people can leave the point of stagnation?
The first thing that I think is don't give up. Because I know some students who stay in this part of learning plateau and they give up. Oh, I can't do this, right? I can understand, but I can't talk. So the first thing is don't give up. Never give up. Keep doing. Maybe change the things that you are doing, I don't know, but don't give up.
Yeah, and I will say that it's just not about languages. I think any kind of learning that you are having, you can have this plateau. For example, Daniel is a musician. I play some instruments very badly, but because I don't overcome the plateaus of music. So when you're learning an instrument for the first time, or anything, think about anything that you do. When you start doing, it's easier because everything is new for you. So everything is interesting. It's funny to learn, and you get the basics. Okay. Thinking about comparing to a musical instrument, and I always like to compare learning a language to playing an instrument, because they are very similar. The way that you learn, I think, is like compare fluency to play an instrument very well. Okay, it's like that. You know, if you just know the chords, if you just know how to hold the instrument, but you can't play a song, you don't play the instrument. You just pretend that you play the instrument. So to be in a band, for example, is fluency. It's the same. So learning. And when I learned some instruments, like I played the tin whistle. When I got the tin whistle for the first time, it was amazing. I learned how to do the notes, the tunes. I learned some gigs, some Irish music. Okay, but after some time, all right, I know the basis. Now let's do something more advanced, and it's very hard. So I was like, it got a little boring now. And I think the same with languages. When you start a language, everything is new for you. New words, new vocab, new structure. So it's fresh, something that you can see that you are learning. Oh my God, learned many, many words today. Great. But after some time, you have learned the basics of the idiom. The language. But now it's time to learn the idioms. It's time to learn new phrasal verbs. It's time to learn slangs. Things start getting more complicated, let's say. You can feel that you are learning so much. I think this is the point. You are learning, but you can feel this, right? You can.
Alison, I don't know if you're going to agree with me or not, but I think nowadays the people want to do all the things very quickly.
Yeah, we are.
In 1 month, they think they're gonna fluently in English. And learn a new language, like an instrument, is not this. You need time. You need to allow ourselves to get all those times, not in 1 month that you're gonna learn. No,
I think
you need time.
The reason is because the world is like this now, right? And also because many schools they advertise this. Oh, you can learn English with us in 6 months. No way, Louis.
No way.
Okay, you can learn any language in 6 months. Any is impossible. How can you do that? No, so many words, so much grammar. No, it's not like that. And telling about this, for example, when I was studying English for the first time, the school I got in was like this. They had a technique about memorizations. It's like the name was mental English. So it was all about learn some new words, match them with other words, and now you have a sentence. For example, I remember the first class. They taught me the words eat and drink, and they taught me the pronouns I, you, we, they. They didn't put the she, he, it, of course. And they taught me many vocabulary about food and drinks. So now, okay, pick like a person, pick a verb, pick a complement, and now you can speak 100 sentences in the first class. Whoa, okay. And I got, all right, it's the first time. Okay, second class. Now they taught me all the words that I don't remember, but it was like walk, drive, and again, more pronouns, more complements. Let's put together and more sentence. Okay, let's put a negative form. After some time, oh my God, it was boring as hell. So I changed the school. I went to other school, and the technique was, I would say, for me, is like the same pattern most schools use is like this. They put you with some vocabulary, then you have like a text, then you have a grammar explanation, and you have a grammar exercise, and then you have a listening, and then you have a conversation. It was better, of course, but after a few months like this, it was again, oh my God. So in my experience, I had many learning plateaus, because when I got bored about that kind of thing, okay, I want something new, because I know what they're going to do. Now the topic is, I don't know, environment, some environment words, environment verbs, a text, a grammar, are listening, talk about the environment. Okay, now the topic is, I don't know, jobs. The same way again. No. For myself, I need to change a lot the ways. But I think we can talk about that, guys. How did we overcome the plateaus? Because we are not intermediate anymore, right? So how did you do that?
On my part, I was thinking about the while we were speaking, and I remembered that when I reached the like my English plateau, I understood that I had pretty good grammar. I had already a good vocabulary, I had a good listening comprehension. I had good reading skills, but I wanted to go further. I wanted to go further. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to be more fluent at the English that is not spoken in an English school, or that is not spoken by non-native speakers. I wanted to become like to speak an English that was closer to the one that was spoken by natives, because that became my challenge, right? And then I thought, how can I overcome that challenge? So I started reading a lot in English, and that worked for me. That seemed to work a lot, because I was adding vocabulary, I was adding stuff that I had never seen before in any other type of media, any other type of printing. So that worked. Reading a lot worked for me, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work for everyone else. Just like Andy said, things nowadays are very fast. So who is going to take like 25 minutes to read an article in English about sports or about science or about maybe music? Who is going to do that, right? So in my case, it worked because reading in English offered me some kind of pleasure of understanding new things and learning new vocabulary. And I think that the 25 minutes, the 30 minutes reading the article was worth it. But is that time worth for anyone? Like, how many people nowadays are going to take 25 minutes to go on the internet and read an article in English just for the sake of learning, of acquire vocabulary, right? So in my case, it really worked.
I think you gave a good advice. Sorry, you give a good advice, because people can think about this. You like reading, so for you, reading worked. Okay, so I think what you mean maybe it's do something that you like, do something that you can enjoy while you are studying. Because when people think about studying, and these my students think a lot, when people listen to the word to the sentence, "Hey guys, study more," they think about putting their face on the book and reading. And actually, this is one way. Some people can do that, of course, but I don't think this will help you to speak, to communicate. No, because it is different. You're not learning history. You're not learning biology. You are learning a language. You just the input. No, you have to have some output too. So it's learning the grammar, the vocabulary, right? But then when you get to the plateau, and remember last part of the first part of this episode, we had a listener. She sent us a message asking how to help her, and I think the most important thing I can say to her is you need to communicate, because it doesn't matter how many words you know. If you are a very good grammar person, if you don't use the grammar and the vocabs you know in sentences, you are not going to go ahead. You're not going to overcome this plateau. You need to challenge yourself. You need to maybe your input, that means your listening and your reading are very good. Now it's time to speak more and maybe to write more speak than write, I would say, but it's time to put yourself in a situation that you can speak your native language. So if you speak Portuguese and you're learning English, okay, try to speak only in English with your friends or online. And this is something very good these days, because when I was young, back in the day, we didn't have internet to study. When I started my Spanish course, we didn't have internet. Of course, we had, but no, here in Igrejinha, we didn't have a good internet connection. Video conference, no way, it was a dream. So now we can do that. You can go online, you can talk to people in English. There are many websites. I recommend Live Mocha. is a good one. They are back now, so you can go there. It's like a Facebook, Instagram, but for people that are learning languages, you can go there, make some friends, and try to overcome that. For me, reading also was a good thing. When I finished my English course, I was like, okay, I finished now, but I don't feel confident enough to have a conversation. And I don't have so much vocabulary with me. So I started reading. As we said before, I like playing Dungeons and Dragons. So I started reading about the old games that we don't have in Portuguese. And I start participating in some websites to discuss with the guys. So I was talking to them about the game. Then I start listening to them speaking about that. And then I start playing with some people from other countries in English. So that thing helped me a lot. So, okay, now I'm a little more confident. Let's go a step ahead. When I start giving classes, even more, but I don't recommend that for you guys. Okay, you don't need to be a teacher to learn. Come on. You see what I did with Andy, poor Andy. Okay, so you go like that, I think.
Yeah. I used to say the same to my students. Listen, talk. If you want to talk. Then they replied me, but teacher, I don't have nobody to talk with. So talk alone. Talk to yourself in front of the mirror. Talk with your dogs. Talk while you were driving, but talk and talk out loud. Don't keep this inside. Record, of course. Don't keep it inside on your mind. Talk. Just talk. Come on. But for me, my period of learning Plateau was because I was the kind of student who had to do the full sentence in my mind, the whole sentence in my mind before speaking. My grammar was very nice. My listening was very nice. But speaking wasn't so good because in my mind, I had to be perfect to talk.
All the verbs in the perfect place.
Yes, all the verbs, all the sentences, all the sentence perfect. And because of this, I couldn't keep on a conversation. Because in a real conversation, you don't have this time to create that sentence in your mind before you speak.
You're not writing, I say, you are talking.
That's true. And for me, when I allow to myself to make mistakes, this for me works very nice for me. So then I started talking with my own mistakes, but I had learned with them. When I say something wrong, I stop. After that, of course, and I stopped and I think, so I said that thing wrong. So next time I'm gonna say right. So, but for me, allow myself to make mistakes. I think this was the best. For me, that was the best thing that I have done.
And this is a great topic, Andy. Assuming our own mistakes, right? Like understanding that we are likely to make mistakes because we're not native speakers of that language.
That's true.
You need to think that
I would go even further, because even in Portuguese, we are native in Portuguese, and everybody. I am a Portuguese teacher, and I can count how many times I spoke something wrong. Today, before the episode here, guys, I was telling something for the guys in Portuguese, and I used the wrong participle. Not because I don't know, but when you're talking, sometimes we do that. Why not? Right? So it's your native language. In a foreign language, of course, they're going to do many more, right? Sorry, Daniel.
And there's another example. I was going to give you an example of an American person and a friend of mine from Philadelphia. I'm not going to say his name here, but he's a guy whom I have met here in Brazil. I met here in Brazil. I think it was 2 years ago. Such a great guy. Whenever he comes to Brazil, he comes once a year. I have pretty nice conversations with him, both in English and Portuguese, because he is learning Portuguese. So he wants to speak Portuguese. He wants to have conversations in Portuguese, and I am eager to help him. But at the same time, there's this trade in which he speaks English to me, and we talk about like sports and stuff, which sometimes requires a little bit of a more specific vocabulary. And then I remember that one day we were talking about American football, and he made a mistake using a comparative adjective. He said something like more smarter.
Yeah.
And
You see?
like, man, more smarter, and he's a native speaker, and he's making this
Mhm.
kind of mistake. And do you think he cared about it? He kept on speaking, and the conversation was amazing, even though a
Mhm.
native speaker made a very like a mature-ish mistake, so to speak.
I have an even worse mistake, guy. Once I was listening to a podcast about books. So all of the guys were university teacher speaking about books, and they were talking about books, etc. And one of the guys said, "Hey man, in this book, have you?" And he didn't finish the sentence. He just say, "Have you?" And the guy, "No." And he said like this, "I have never written that. Read them." He created a new participle because most participles in English finish with like given, for example, etc. So he created, "No, I have never written that." And nobody's stopping, "Hey man, you use the wrong participle here."
Mhm.
And he was a university teacher, a native
Yes.
speaker.
The
Yeah.
thing is, nobody's gonna judge you. Come on, take it easy. Allow to yourself. I saw in a movie. Now I can't remember the name, but I saw the sentence "she are." Oh, and then I thought, my goodness, they're native. They're saying that. Imagine me.
Eric Clapton in his song Cocaine, she don't lie. So Eric Clapton sings that all the time. So
That's right.
and if somebody judge you guys, I always say that for my students, ask them how many languages do you speak? I'm speaking a second, maybe a third language. How many do you do? Right? And I don't remember the movie, but there is a lady. She's a a Spanish girl, and she's speaking in English, and she commits a mistake. She commits a mistake, and somebody say her, "Hey, you are wrong," and start making jokes about her, etc. Picking on, and you don't know how smart I am in Spanish. I am translating what I'm thinking to a second language that is not my one. So that's why maybe I commit a mistake. Sorry, man. You have no idea how if I can speak just Spanish with you, you will see. So I think that is you are learning. You are not a native, right? And I don't know, like this maybe, right?
Yeah, be comfortable with your mistakes. Don't transform them in like pet peeves, right? They are going to happen. You're going to make mistakes, and this is just part of the process, right? Always keep in mind that no one's going to judge you, and if they do, just do like Alessandro said, right?
Yeah, and we can compare. I was thinking now a very bad comparison, but okay. Imagine that a native speaker could be like Michael Phelps, the swimming guy there. So let's say that I Alessandro, I am 38, almost 39. I want to learn how to swim. I know how to swim, but I want to swim like Michael Phelps. I'll never gonna get like him because he has swum since he was a child. He did that as a professional. He has done that. I think he's retired now, but okay.
Yeah,
He yeah he has done this all his life, right? And of course I'll never get like him, but I can swim. I can swim pretty well if I apply myself, right? I'm not going to be Michael Phelps, but I don't need it. He is Michael Phelps. I am Alessandro, so I can swim. I can do whatever I want, but not like a professional guy. So in comparing that to languages, I think like this, the most important thing is communicate. If you can communicate, it doesn't matter if you are speaking. Of course, you need to communicate. This is important. No, just okay. So I can say anything that comes to my mind. No, you need to communicate. You need to put some words in order so people can understand you. But don't care too much about all the small things that you can have, or all my pronunciation need to be 100%. No, don't do that. Don't do that, because if you do that, you're not going to communicate for a long time. And other thing that I'll say, I think that to speak, it seems very silly, but I think you're going to agree with me. To learn a language, you need to learn the language, let's say. What I mean is like to speak English, you need to know English first. So learn the basics, go to intermediate level, and then you start learn English for sure, let's say. It's like when I teach Portuguese. How can I teach Portuguese for someone that doesn't know Portuguese? We can do that actually, if you think about. The person need to learn some vocabs, some structures, and then she's going to understand that we don't use, for example, the we in Portuguese. We don't use we. We created another pronoun here, a gente. So it's like that. Okay, you need to learn the language, and then we will learn the language again, let's say, now in a proper way, in a communicative way, let's say.
Great, guys. So pretty interesting inputs for today, and I think this topic, of course, it's open for debate, and it would maybe we could stay here like forever talking about it, because there are so many dynamics to it, right? Maybe another time we can continue on this topic. If you guys who are listening have any other questions about this, maybe we can get back to it in the near future, right? So I guess that's it for today, guys. For the ones who are listening to us, thank you so much for having us today. Alessandro, nice having you here.
Thank you. And if you have questions, guys, remember our Instagram is @sap_cast. You can find that on Instagram. Our email is teclasapcast@gmail.com. And our phone number is 5199-125-9079. Send us a message, send us a voice message. We are waiting for your sign, okay? So thank you so much, and see you next time.
Angie, good night, young lady, and see you next time.
Bye-bye. See you next time. It was a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Okay, and guys, always remember that here with us is Bruna. Okay, Bruna always helping with the technical part. Bruna, nice having you here. Thank you for the support. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
And guys, see you all in the next episode of the Sapcast. Okay, see you.
You could have speaking like an hour about this, right? We could have been like many hours of learning Plateau.
Yeah, about like a lot, like non-stop speaking for maybe, I don't know. And did you see that Grêmio beat